efforts made by organizations like the World Trade Organization and the WEF and stuff like that, trying to advance the idea of degrowth, which is shrinking the population, shrinking economies, shrinking the consumption of resources, all because of global warming. Degrowth equals is getting rid of human beings.
But look at the walkable cities that they're coming out with.
Well, I mean, yeah, the walkable cities are one thing, but the idea of degrowth is something that people need to keep their eyes open for, because what it is literally saying is we need to have fewer people. That means people die and they limit births. Abortion obviously is one of the ways that they'll limit births. It'll be like, you know, people are you qualified to have children? In the future they're going to be like, well, are they extremists? Do they have the wrong opinions? Do they have, you know, because that's what happens in China now. You know, if they did the whole one-child policy for 30 years or something like that in China, and
I actually think our destabilization and the downfall, we're going to start, I think, almost mirroring a lot of China's policies. You know, it's not going to be a full-on genocide right out the bat, right? You're going to have internment camps, you're going to have work camps slowly popping up, the denial that those exist, and then it just continues to escalate from there. But it's not profitable, right, to kill the whole population at once. They see us as cattle, they see us as money. That's how we've always been seen to the government, to these big organizations like WEF and, you know, the Bill Clintons, the Bill Gates of the world. We are nothing but money to them. And if they kill us all, how are they going to make this money? No, they need control and to slowly lower the population to a point of where the economy is also sized and it can still continue making money, the same kind of money off of the smaller population, but maintaining more control.
There are people that are concerned monetarily, but I really think the people that are going to be driving the efforts to you know, shrink the economy and shrink global output of economic activity and shrink consumption, those people are ideologues. Yeah. Those people actually want to see people die because they believe there are too many people on the planet, and they believe the Earth can only sustain, you know, 500 million or 500 million or whatever. They're Malthusian, but they believe wholeheartedly that people need to die and that we need to limit the amount of people that are allowed to live.
Is it that they want instant degrowth? Do they want, instead of 1 million new people here, they want 500,000? Or is it that they actually want a negative net growth? Do they want?
At first, it was a huge negative net growth. Less people ever see.
I should say net total.
You can go to the WEF. You can go to the WEF.
Decreasing growth.
You can go to the
Decreasing growth. You're still growing.
You can go to the WEF forums, World Economic Forum's website and read all the papers that they have. These aren't secrets. This is not hidden information. The only thing you have to do is put the effort in to go read.
Well,
anyone listening, no, this is not secret stuff. This isn't like esoteric. There's no great, like, you don't have to have a special decoder ring or anything. All you need is an internet connection. Go to the World Economic.
And Schwab has detailed this stuff too in his books, in the Fourth Industrial Revolution and in the Great Reset. He talks about quite literally destroying the population and cutting it more than in half.
That Great Reset was wild.
It's crazy, and people that haven't read it, they should read it, because it's like, holy shit, they're literally telling you they're going to genocide you for the betterment of them.
Dude, it's crazy how they say, like, oh, the Great Reset is like a conspiracy. I'm like, it's literally a book
that you can buy.
The dude that we're talking about, and you're telling me it's literally a book. And then,
well, it's the same thing with the Great Replacement, right? One party can talk about it, it's real when they talk about it, but when the other side, the dissenters, talk about it, you're anti-Semitic, it's conspiracy, and you're racist.
Like, there's some value to social engineering. Well, because you want to, like, make sure the houses aren't downwind from the burn pits. So social engineering, you're making living, and you make industrial, and you protect the rivers. So I understand kind of that, but it's a slippery slope. You got to be real careful trying to control people's growth.
Did you guys know that after Germany lost the war, mass suicides erupted all over this?
Yeah, because they didn't want to talk about the Soviets, but the Soviets were like, Soviets were not chill.
They were no better than the Nazis.
And a large component of what allowed Hitler to rise to power was preaching against communism.
Against the Bolsheviks.
That you blame the communists.
I feel like the Japanese too aren't talking nearly about how savage they were. The experiments that they were doing, it is insane. I mean, you would say it's on par and even exceeds some of the experiments that Nazi Germany was. They would
freeze people's. It would stick people's arms,
And break it off.
so that it would freeze in a refrigeration unit or outside, and then shatter it with a hammer.
Yep. And this is all while they're alive, too.
They're awake.
And they dissect them while they're alive. It's insane.
It's vivisect. When they're alive, it's called a vivisection.
It's crazy. That's how we know all of our stuff about frostbite, etc. How
Yep.
we'll survive.
Well, that's we gave them clemency. We quite literally said, hey,
It's
for this
crazy.
information, you guys can come chill in the U.S., which
I
is
mean,
exactly what we did with the Nazi scientists too.
Right. I mean, it's better that I think I think the idea was better that we take the information as opposed to all this suffering and pain. But it's still the brutal reality is that that's where we got the information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, that's it. I hope that answers your question, RJ.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you guys went off on that one.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I think Taylor and Phil pretty much summed it up really good for me. Ian, I love you, bro. Sometimes you can be super frustrating. That's the point, dude. I'm the red and the spokes.
He's the nuance to the show, right?
Of course. Yeah, I love you guys. Thanks very much for taking my call.
Calling in that.
Cheers.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a blast. Taylor, thanks for hanging out. And for everybody's in Neighbor, we're gonna have a this Friday. I'm just gonna say it. I guess it's Mo Dean and Alex Stein.
Oh, yeah.
And so we our security companies that day we want to have.
Come to bring in hot dogs.
Like I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think
They will probably try and grab each other.
But considering they destroyed the stage, the concern isn't so much that they'll fight because they may be fooling around, but like this table with 1,000 pounds.
I could see them grabbing at each other. Doing
It's the entertainment value.
but going too far.
It's Alex Stein and it's
definitely have
Mo Dean.
security
It's
ready.
It's gonna be wild. All right, everybody. We have a poster we made for it too. I think the plan is to start putting the posters on Monday as well. So, all right, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will see you.
Have you heard? Amazon is now hiring for the new warehouse in Arlene. Working at an Amazon warehouse certainly has its advantages. They have jobs and schedules that fit any lifestyle, modern and safe workplaces, teams that listen to you, and benefits that help support your goals. So find the role that's right for you and apply for the Arlene warehouse job. To learn more, visit Amazon.com/start now. That's Amazon.com/start now. Amazon is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Off your subscription. Get a subscription today. CHOQ.com, promo code
new? So the U.S. women's soccer team, they lost, and everybody's making fun of Megan Rapinoe for missing what is considered to be a very easy penalty kick, costing the U.S. the match. They've been eliminated. And, you know, I feel like for most people who are into politics and culture, if this individual if Megan Rapinoe was like a nice, humble person, we have someone's audio blasting. If Megan Rapinoe was a good person that people really liked, we'd all be like, nah, it's cool, you missed this shot, we'll get your back, thank you for everything you do, but she's insufferable. She's got this viral video where she screams, I deserve this, over and over again. She's got this video, people are dragging her where this little kid wants a signature on a soccer ball, and she just like signs it, doesn't look at it, passes it off like it's not even there. And so she's a nasty person. Trump roaster saying, nice shot, Megan, blaming Joe Biden and wokeness for the loss. And this is the U.S. losing on the international stage. Not the biggest story in the world, but culturally relevant because it's a component of get woke culture. No one's got your back when you hate this country. No one's got your back when you're supposed to be representing the U.S. and then you refuse to sing the national anthem. So we'll talk about that one. We got actual news. I mean, we could leave with this, but the U.S. is dispatching warships because there's this big, China and Russia were seen off the coast of Alaska, and so the U.S. is a little worried about it. But, you know, these things happen. You know, it's not the biggest deal in the world. And another really big story, I owe a sincere apology to Neo. I really do mean it, because I made a pretty, I was pissed off. Neo, the entertainer, came out, did an interview where he was like, how are parents going to let their kids do these things, decide these things for their lives? They're 5, 6, 7 years old, 12 years old, making permanent alterations to their body. He was very critical of what the left calls gender affirming here and things like that. And we were all pretty happy that he was speaking up and giving his opinion. And then he tweeted an apology. And so I roasted him pretty heavily for this, saying this guy claims to be a father and it's all that matters, but he's selling out his children's future for fame and fortune with this apology. Well, I apologize, Neo, because apparently that was your publicist. He came out and said, I don't care what the publicist said, I stand by what I said. And he doubled down and defended his position, saying kids shouldn't be doing this. And so, yeah, I apologize. To be fair, I had no idea that was coming from a publicist, and he apparently was not okay with it. But all that matters is he came out, he said something very, very legit, defended his stance, said, you know, F the publicist, and for that, I apologize. We're going to talk about all of that and more. Before we get started, my friends, head over to castbrew.com. If you want to support the show, this is our coffee company. Buy our coffee. It's the best company. It's a great company, but it's the best coffee you'll ever have. We've got the Cast Brew Coffee Club, ground and whole bean. You get 3 bags of coffee every month, or you can just buy them each bag straight up whole bean or ground. We got light, we got medium, we got dark roast, we got Mr. Focus Pumpkin Spice Experience, we got Sleepy Joe Decaf, and get this. The Keurig cups are almost ready to launch. You can see here, they're on the website, but they're still in the sold out position because we're about to stock them, but the website is ready, and we will have these K-Cups very, very, very soon. So again, go to castbrew.com and buy our coffee to support the show. Head over to timcast.com, click join us, become a member. There's one of the members-only uncensored show coming up for you at 10 p.m. tonight, where you as members can submit questions and be selected to call into the show to talk to us and our guests. So smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends if you really do like it, copy that URL, paste it everywhere, share it on Twitter, whatever you on X. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is Clint Russell.
I am the #1 fan club curator for Neo. You guys may have heard of me. No, I'm Clint Russell, host of Liberty Lockdown, as well as Tower Gang. I am a Mises Caucus member, LP National member, Dave Smith surrogate. You know, the thing. Thank you guys for checking this out.
How you doing? I am Phil Labonte, lead singer of All That Remains, anti-communist and counter-revolutionary.
And I'm Hannah Claire Brimlow. I'm a writer for timcast.com. You should follow it up because I think it is the best company, or at least my favorite part of this company.
Yeah, Tim was not a
No. But yeah, I think you can call your own companies the best. As long as you do what the Donald Trump has, then I'm fine. But yeah, I'm a writer for Timcast. We all do agree. But yeah, anyways, glad to be here. And Serge is here.
Yes, I am indeed here. That's going to be a fun one. Good to have you back, Clint, as always.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers. All right, let's get started now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. has been eliminated from the World Cup. U.S. women's national team historic early World Cup elimination. Trump mocks Megan Rapinoe. He blames Joe Biden. Nice shot, Megan.
soccer team to Sweden is fully emblematic of what is happening to our once great nation under crooked Joe Biden, Trump wrote on his media platform Truth. That means he truthed it. Many of our players were openly hostile to America. No other country behaved in such a manner, or even close. Woke equals failure. If Trump could just say, get woke, go broke. Nice shot, Megan. The USA is going to hell. You know why I'm not a fan of these statements? I'm not a fan of people being like, oh, look, them losing is proof and all this stuff. Because they were winning before. They had won twice. They had done a really good job. She was still, Megan Rapinoe is still a really awful person that nobody likes. Well, actually, a lot of people do like her. Come on, I'm being hyperbolic, but she's divisive. A lot of people in this country don't like her. A lot of people seem to like her. And so she is supposed to represent the USA, but actively despises it and speaks out against its history. She encourages people not to stand for the national anthem or sing the Star Spangled Banner and things like that. If you're going overseas to represent the USA, you should be proudly representing the USA. If you don't like this country, you should not be in this position. And so I'm not going to sit here and rag on her and be like, haha, what an awful player. She screwed up this one time. She missed a penalty kick. It is kind of embarrassing. She loses. She laughed about it. She started crying later. But the funny thing is, when she's crying, it also looks like she's laughing too. She starts like acting like she's crying, and then she looks up and she's smiling and laughing. Here's my conspiracy theory. She missed it on purpose because she wanted to. She's retiring. Her and a couple other players apparently are retiring. They're done. They're like, let's take our early exit, take our cash, do our endorsement deals, we out. Conspiracy theory.
That's an interesting one. I don't know how that would help with endorsements to not repeat.
Because she's a grifting leftist activist. She gets endorsements not based on the fact that she's winning games. She's coming out and saying whatever the left wants to hear.
It's not impossible.
But she's already rich too.
Yeah, she's working Victoria's Secret.
That's the scandal.
Yeah, people were really mad when they picked her in particular.
Victoria's Secret bring back hot models.
Right. I mean, maybe she wants to have her legs in soccer so she can get in on the final year of the Biden administration. She's been there talking about inequalities in women's sports pay because obviously women's soccer makes so much money that we can justify these kinds of complaints. She models herself as the face of oppression.
Henry
That's the weird
Hazlitt's
thing.
Economics in One Lesson would fix this problem.
No, but the thing is, she's the kind of person, from the quotes that I've read of her talking about how you can't escape inequality, who would say, like, no, I don't believe you. The things that I feel are more important than any kind of logic.
We have two potentialities here. Megan Rapinoe is bad. She has won in the past, but how do you screw up? What is all these articles are talking about how it's a penalty kick, it's an easy shot, and she went over the net and lost. So is she just not the person for this game? Is she not the person that people should be cheering for? She's not that good? Did she make a simple mistake, or did she spike the game because she wants to leave early and not have to spend how much more time overseas flying around playing these games?
I think it would have only been a couple more weeks. So I doubt she blew it intentionally. I think she's over the hill, and her focus is on activism as opposed to the sport. And I think it's as simple as that. Is that like then she gets there on the big stage. She hasn't been committed to the sport like she had her entire career, and she chokes when it matters most.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't. It wasn't like everyone's saying that the goalie played a great game, which she did, but she also completely went over that. It was like not even close to like on target. So.
Yeah, but there was other players that did the same thing.
Right, it's true.
One of the youngest players did the exact same.
Penalty kicks are always stressful.
But look, can we just get back to a period in American history where like the idea of whether or not the U.S. is either in heaven or hell is not dictated based off of women's soccer? I think that's so strange to me.
No, Clint, we actually can.
We're going to hell. What is Trump talking about? Well, there's another story that was going on a couple days. Joe Rogan drinking Bud Light, and numerous times on his show, saying that's like silly and who cares and stuff like that. But I think it matters. I think when you see Megan Rapinoe trying to represent a sect of American politics instead of the United States, that's the corruption that we have to say no to and reject. The person who goes and represents the United States should say something like, I am deeply critical of this country's history, but I am here to represent those who both love and are critical. And for all of my, all of the people in the United States who may disagree with me, just know that I'm going to win this for you too. And that's what's supposed to be representing everybody. She doesn't. She hates us.
Her criticism, she has ample opportunity to let people know that she's critical political without doing it when she's representing the United States when she's overseas. You can have whatever opinion you want, but when you're out actually being a representative of the United States, you should not trash the United States. And to be honest with you, this is a real low bar to pass. This is a very easy ask. Saying don't trash America when you're out there getting paid significant money and being in a position to get all sorts of sponsorship deals and all kinds of stuff like that. Don't trash America when you're out there being a representative. Low bar to pass. And if you can't, I don't see why people should support you.
I got a devil's advocate this because
I love Megan Rapinoe.
Yes.
Into the blue hair.
Yes, she's my spirit.
What do you got?
No, I think that there's a reasonable argument to be made that, like, for instance,
When running a business, your employees can create all kinds of interesting situations, like getting complaints because someone on the team always smells horrible. You better talk to Bambi. HR issues can kill you. One complaint against your company can turn your world upside down. You spend way too much time dealing with HR when you should be spending your time making a profit. With Bambi, you get access to your own dedicated HR manager, starting at just $99 per month. They're available by phone, email, and real-time chat, so onboarding and terminations run smoothly. Team members reach peak performance, and your business stays compliant with changing HR regulations. And with Bambi's HR Autopilot, you'll automate important HR practices like setting policies, training, and feedback. HR managers can easily cost $80,000 a year, but Bambi starts at $99 per month. Schedule your free conversation today to see how much Bambi can take off your plate. Go to Bambi.com right now and type in Tim Pool under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Spelled BAMBEE.com. Bambi.com. Type in Tim Pool.
If Megan Rapinoe was out there and she was saying we need to avoid World War III with Russia, and she was critical of our military in this moment, or critical of our State Department, I would have been like, awesome.
Yeah,
According to Forbes, Megan Rapinoe made $7 million last year.
Oh, God, words.
And I'm gonna play this for you. You guys ready for this one? Here you go. You guys ready?
What do you have to say? What do you deserve?
Deserve all of it. Everything. You deserve this. She belongs.
That's the cringiest thing ever. What a girl boss! Wow.
What do you have to say? What do you deserve for that?
Feminists
I'm
think
so happy she lost. I'm so happy she's the one who spiked it. Bro, you give me anyone, any athlete, and if they keep their mouth shut and say literally nothing, and then it's a penalty kick or it's a free throw and they miss, and they come back and they say, I'm sorry everybody, I'm sorry I let you down, I tried my best. Just know I'm gonna train. We're gonna be like, we got your back, dude. You played the game, you gave it your all. We respect you. This video right here, whatever it is, no one's calling it a joke. No one on the left is being like, she was kidding. They're not even saying that. No. What do they say? They say that's a mood. The Huffington Post said, here you go. Megan Rapinoe holding the World Cup trophy and screaming, I deserve this, is a mood. Yeah, okay. This is from 4 years ago. No, this is an insufferable, arrogant, entitled person who absolutely represents the worst scum of the United States. The entitled millennial who screams, I deserve this.
Well, just
you would never hear Tom Brady do that.
well, just contrast it with the greatest athlete of all time.
Tom Brady?
Well, don't do this to me, Phil. Michael Jordan. But he would hug the trophy and he would kiss it, and he was known for being quite the asshole. But he was just like, in that moment, he's tearful, he's appreciative, he's hugging his teammates, he's hugging the trophy,
They always say stuff
he's
like,
crying.
They say,
And then
thank
she-
you
I
all so
deserve it.
much. Thank you all for the support. I want to thank God. I want to thank my family for being there. We all worked really hard. My teammates, they all have to go. I deserve this. Could you imagine if... That's just great. No, she could have been holding the trophy being like, my teammates helped me get here and I'm eternally grateful. No, I deserve this!
It's her in particular. She is particularly sort of self-absorbed. I think that would makes her look like you're saying a different person made a terrible kick during this game. We're not talking about her. We're only talking about Megan Rapinoe because she has made, especially women's soccer, but women's sports generally, this very divisive issue, both from the pay stuff, from the the silver she got from some of their wins and used it to be the one to kneel on the field. Be one to sit out.
And women's sport needs every single eyeball it can get.
But instead, she's like, I am going to
And
make
they're
this.
the most toxic and just objectionable, uncharismatic people that are just out there so full of themselves. They don't sound like team players, and it's just so bad for women's sports. And people are just like, all right, I think I'm gonna go. I'm glad that the NFL preseason started last week.
What do you
so we
have to
can watch real sports. God, it's so bad.
It feels so good. Knowing that she missed an easy kick and spiked the game for the United States and it's on her, and then she laughs about it. I don't even think she cares, she just laughs.
No, I don't think she was good.
Bro, I remember when I was working, this is like 10 years ago. I was at Vice and we were watching the World Cup and Brazil. Do you remember that game in like 2013? I think it was 2013, where Brazil lost like 8-0. It was just like the most brutal defeat. When was that? And people were crying. There were players crying. There were people crying. It was what? It was just people crying. Really?
Then they were like essentially our rival in the U.S. Women's National Team.
Was it the 2014 World Cup?
Was it 2014? It might have been 2014.
I'm asking.
Does anybody understand the argument that they should have equal pay given that they don't have as much in terms of revenue? Because I don't understand what the argument is. Does anybody understand?
Communism.
Oh, communism. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That's what I was assuming.
It's communism.
It just makes them feel better that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a successful business venture. It's not generating the same amount of revenue. It doesn't make any sense.
It is about equity. It's about, well, we go out there and we put in the same effort, which there's no way to measure the amount of effort that they put in versus what the men put in.
Even if they do, who cares?
3 more behind you? Okay, I'm by myself, so. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, thank you.
Because we have the sometimes people wear dresses division and the sometimes people wear pants division. That's it. That's what they're breaking it down by. When the left says women's sports, they don't mean biological female. They mean people who sometimes wear dresses. That's it. But for real, that's what that means. And so,
I'm gonna get the whole thing.
Is it if Michael Jordan put on a dress, we're gonna pay him less money. Michael Jordan, he's paid the same if he's wearing a dress. That's why we need equal pay.
I just don't understand the argument. It's like it is honestly communist. It's bizarre to me that they just make it so overtly. And all right, look, I saw Mehdi Hassan who was going ballistic about this. He's like, I'm so accustomed to seeing all the conservatives, the true blue, the hug the flag, the shoot your guns, the 2A, the Bible thumb, da 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 da. And then he goes, they always root for the USA, but now all of a sudden they don't. It's like, yeah, Mehdi,
that's provocation.
They don't root for us.
That's provocation. He does not actually care. Right. It doesn't bother him.
No.
So the point that he's making is trying to get people to engage with him so that way he can be dishonest. It's not about whether or not people are patriotic. He is trying to hold people to a standard that is imaginary because he does not hold those positions at all. So it's just a communist provocation. Flip him off.
Yeah, I mean, Megan Rapinoe hates the United States. That's not a comment.
No, that's right.
And it makes,
so does Mehdi Hassan. That's the point.
It makes me sad for all of the other female players who are now like, maybe it's a good thing that Megan Rapinoe is retiring, and so there's a chance for the women on this team to potentially say like, hey, we don't agree with her, we don't want to be a part of the sport.
just suck the air out of every room.
Well, because she deserves this.
Because she deserves this.
Nobody else.
And obviously.
No, I mean, she deserves all of this right now.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is it, man. You love to see karma. Because you want people to be respectful, grateful, nice to each other, humble. And she's the epitome of arrogant leftism. Now to have her losing this way, yeah, I'm gloating. I will gloat all the way.
Same.
Yeah. Well, and it reminds when this Huffington Post article came out 4 years ago. You know, women's soccer was performing well. They were winning, and there were some people who were saying, you know, we need to talk about them more. Girls need these folk heroes in sports so they know they can achieve all this stuff. Like,
They never tell you why girls need that.
also, no one should look at Megan Rapinoe and say, I would like to live life what you do, because you treat people poorly. You don't have good character.
Yeah.
I think regardless of whether she's a good athlete or not, she is not the model of behavior you want anyone to be like, look, young child, do that.
There's another angle of ridiculousness to this, is that women's soccer really got a head start on the rest of the world by like 20 or 30 years. So they have this way overly inflated ego about their position in the sport, because they're like, look, we're better than the men's team compared to the rest of the world. It's like, no. You got a head start on the rest of the world because women weren't really playing soccer or football in the rest of the world. So now the rest of the world's catching up, and you're going to have to get real that we're probably going to get surpassed.
Well, she deserves this.
She does. I mean, I'm not going to shed a tear.
We're going to jump to this next story. I have to do this one right away because I owe Neo an apology. Neo defends his opinion, clarifies apology after declaring opposition to children undergoing medical gender transition. I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth of the publicist's computer. So let's break the story down. We got this from Rolling Stone. Neo apologizes for criticizing parents who support children deciding their gender identity. Saying gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I better educate myself on this topic so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. Basically, he goes on this podcast, and he's like, kids can't decide this stuff. I feel like parents don't know what it means anymore. If a kid wants to eat candy all day and you let him, he'll do it. He says if your 5-year-old son comes and says, I feel like a girl, you're going to rock with that? He's like, these kids can't make these permanent life decisions. What ends up happening is he puts out this post on Twitter saying, I'd like to express my deepest apologies. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate in love, blah, blah, blah. I understand how my comments could have been interpreted. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach blah, blah, blah. I lead with love and support. Well, you got a video. I'm going to play this video for you. You can hear it straight from him. You guys ready?
What's going on, loved ones? I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because everybody's had opinions, ain't special, everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I did not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. A 42-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls. Okay, that's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow. If my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question. Okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA+ community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book, anywhere, or any opinion that somebody's gonna tell
very strong way. So, I want to defend myself a little bit. Like, I had no idea he was going to do this.
Of course.
Most of these celebrities come out and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, why? I'm the whiny baby." This dude just came out manly, 10 out of 10. Like I was saying, you're not a man, you're not a father. No. This dude is a real man, is a real father. This is what fathers should be doing. This is what men should be doing. He did it right. He was respectful. He said, "I'm not trying to offend you," and I'm like, "That's exactly." Trying to offend people. We're trying to express ourselves, but I want to point out, you know what he said? I would never be okay with a kid doing something that detrimental to themselves.
Yeah.
He's outright saying it is harm. It's not just a how could you know, like how could you feel the way? No, he's outright saying it's bad. It's modern abomination.
Well, I think he's just telling the truth. But what's so remarkable about it is that in the music industry in particular, you just can't get away with this. Like I tweeted